welcome to another edition of the Sports One. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
And we are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Report here on a Monday. Once again, the Barnes and Tony Show. Quick turnaround indeed. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing the best that I could be doing, I think, right now, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, dude.
Hanging in there.
Yeah.
And it's just, listen, we've all been there before. So you're always thinking of the what ifs, what could have been, and you just have to keep moving forward.
That's right, dude. We, life goes on, dude. Onward and upward, Brian.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And I think, too, it was when I said that on Friday, it was a question of, well, is it a new day? Like, what's going to happen? What do you know?
Right.
What do you know is a new day? And obviously, I know this situation different. Obviously, there's a long wait after this. But it doesn't mean that better times aren't possibly ahead.
Oh, that's right, dude. I mean, I think that, in terms of the Mets, I think that you want to be happy with, the regime that's in place right now. Seems like that they somewhat know what they're doing. I mean, it's going to be pretty interesting. I mean, the team could look entirely different next year. And that's, I guess, really the basic sentiment, I feel like, of most, fans day after, especially in baseball. I mean, you never know what next season is going to look like, really.
No.
So, yeah, dude.
It's just, obviously it's tough. It's something that requires patience because so hard not to think as soon as that final out is made in your season of how long there is between that moment and like even just opening day. But then it's like, when you get to opening day, then you have to play 162.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like there's just so much that goes on between now and then.
I know. And it makes it seem like the odds that, the Mets are going to go back to a scenario where they were just at, it just seems unlikely. As with any other team,
And listen, like I've done it every time. Of course, too, right away, you just start thinking about roster construction, new moves, what it's going to take to get to that point.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Who's going to be here? You don't know.
But hey, it could be worse. You could be like the Jets and have those players, but then still be terrible on top of it.
What an absolute shit show for them last night, huh, dude? Like,
it's over. I honestly, I'm being dead serious. Like, it's completely over. Literally. Like the Aaron Rodgers era will be going down as one of the biggest failures in franchise history. I'm completely convinced.
Do you think that when people do look at this, and it will, inevitably end in still failure, I'm sure, do you think people are going to hold Rodgers more accountable? Or do you think it's going to be more so like, oh, well, he had Salah that messed him up, didn't really have the right team around him, the ownership sucks? Like, do you think this is going to really significantly change like his legacy?
I think it's going to be a mix. I don't think it significantly changes, but the blame is going to be mixed between the ineptitude of the Jets and just him, not being able to turn it around. But obviously, too, one of those things, you get him when he's 40, and a bunch of other guys that you've brought in are all past their 30s. Right. So it's just like hindsight, planning, the coaching that you mentioned. Everything was kind of done ass backwards.
The ayahuasca. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Rodgers isn't burning enough sage in his household,
But I mean, this is like potentially like a 5 or 6 win team. I know. Oh, okay, winnable New England. But then again, like, would we really be surprised?
Honestly, if they blow it, no, I wouldn't be. Yeah, dude, that's like a total flop at that point.
Like not really, good. Like really embarrassing.
Do you start cleaning house? Like, if they do lose against the Patriots, is it at that point like, hey, man,
maybe we could flip Adams.
Yeah, flip Adams real quick, dude. Trade Wilson.
No, it's just it's like, how do you keep doing this? But it seems like it's like once again after the season, down to the studs. Quarterbacks.
Who's the backup? Taylor.
Yeah. But listen,
Do you think that we have a better shot at winning with Taylor at the QB position?
I don't know.
Literally anyone else besides Rodgers?
I don't know. It's just too. I think the biggest problem is the team chemistry is not there.
Why? Like how is that, dude? Like
I could think of a certain somebody. I honestly think that doesn't set the tone the right way. And of course, he has his relationships with people that really like him, all this stuff.
Rodgers.
But at the same time, if there's a feeling as a fellow player that one guy is above the rest of the team,
never good.
Is that really going to sit well with everyone? Hard to think that it would.
Yeah, no, you're totally right, dude. And not even just players. I mean, if I'm even a coaching staff and all of a sudden this guy's coming in, bringing in his own guys, be like, whoa, what are we doing?
Yeah, so it is a complete mess. But luckily, it's not our job to turn it around. So
yeah, it's a tough job to turn it around, dude. Oh God, like I don't even know, like where do you you said, dude? It's like you strip it down, but it's like where are you going?
You do. I mean, you keep cornerstones, like Sauce and like Garrett Wilson, and Breece Hall.
Do you think they're happy right now? Like with the Jets, like
why would you be happy at 2-5? But I mean, it applies for every sport. I mean, how do you get out of such an extended run of ineptitude? I mean, you just absolutely crush it in your drafting and player development as well as your coaching staff. I mean,
which obviously they've been doing so well recently with that.
So that's what it is. But what do we got for comments here? I see a couple.
Oh yeah, we got a few here. Michael Buckta. I mean, come on. I mean, you gotta, I guess, give him his props here. Showing up. Let's go, dude. Steelers smoked the Jets in the second half.
See, there you go. You want to give him props, but he's showing up because his team smoked.
Yep.
Ours.
Yeah, I think Michael Buckta is smoking right now, maybe. And then he says we have ourselves a classic World Series matchup. Nonetheless, no doubt, is a classic one. I mean, it's Dodgers, Yankees. A tale as old as time, Brian. Josh B in the house says, yo, what up, fam? Yankees Dodgers World Series Friday. Hashtag RepBX. Hashtag TCA. Hashtag SportsBoard. Hashtag DTV.
Yeah, and I mean, I definitely agree with that. And it's a matchup too that we thought we were gonna get, and potentially, I mean, who knows? You don't want to be that guy, but it's like we could have gotten 2017. So to get it 7 years later is kind of crazy.
And I feel like, I mean, for the past couple of years, I mean, that was still predicted.
Every
Dodgers,
year
Yankees.
Since then, that was always something that was.
So Tommy Donovan in the house also says, what's up, fam? Giants are terrible, but the Yankees are in the World effing Series. Josh B, Jets are still jetting. And Michael Buckta trying to get himself together. DTV, dude. Well, I mean, hey, with a Steelers win like that, I mean, you're on the right path.
Yeah, there you go. And he's got Yankees World Series. And also, it's been 43 years since they met the World Series, but this is the 12th time Yankees Dodgers World Series, 5 more meetings than any other matchup World Series history.
Wow, dude. Who's the other one? Do you know?
Let me see. This was an MLB.com article. Let's see. Okay, so Yankees Dodgers. So they don't have it. I mean, I'm sure they'll show me, but actually, it's funny. Second all time in any playoff series is Yankees Guardians with 7.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yankees Giants with 7 World Series. So basically that answers your question. Yankees
there
versus
you go. Yankees Giants.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be a classic matchup. And
yeah, dude.
What do you think about, I mean, obviously if the ALCS had extended 7 games, would have finished Tuesday. So it would have only been 2 off days before the World Series starts. Obviously, both teams wrap up by Sunday. Mm-hmm. So you got 4 days off. I mean, you avoid the football on both weeks that this is being played. I mean, do you think that's kind of how you have to do it? Or do you think baseball is too nervous about going up against the NFL?
In terms of
that's why the series has to start on
Friday.
Friday, Saturday, off day, Sunday. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Oh, wait, obviously Monday is football, but like Tuesday and Wednesday aren't. Right. So capitalizing there. Oh, wait, you're off Thursday. Oh, wait. And then Friday, Saturday. Oh, wait. The NFL's not playing.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously that is what it's geared around. I mean, that's pretty obvious. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like if you had a World Series game on like an 8 o'clock on a Sunday night, I mean,
depending on what the Sunday night game is, and like especially
Yeah.
last night, I mean,
Are you kidding
at
me?
a certain point, I mean, people were mailing that in.
Yeah, dude. And again, I mean, yeah. I feel like I'm gonna be happy too. It's Yankees Dodgers. Like Jesus
man,
Christ,
I
dude.
think
like,
this will be best ratings since the Cubs and the Indians in 2016.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Because, and I know last year, I think there were record lows.
Lows.
Yeah, and I know
Yeah.
ratings already have been way up this year for
Mhm.
the DS and CS series. So
Yeah,
I
bet.
think it's going to be a bonanza, dude.
Yeah, dude. An absolute bonanza.
And I think you're just it's definitely good for the game to get back in that direction.
Oh yeah, man.
But yeah, so I mean, so much to get to here. Let's start in the world of the National Football League.
He wants Jefferson, climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Justin Jefferson, the catch of his life.
Burrow fires, intercepted, picked off at a pick six. Minka Fitzpatrick, an absolute ball hawk.
Niners twist up front and get to Tagovailoa. Bosa again. Mahomes escaping on the move, stops, spins, flips it forward for the touchdown.
Stop it.
Aaron Jones. Oh, what a tackle. Quincy Williams with a pile driver.
All right. So the Jets embarrassed in Pittsburgh last night, 37-15 the final. So Russell Wilson winning in his Steeler debut, 16-29, 2 touchdowns, 264 yards, no picks. Najee Harris had 102 yards rushing. So Jets giving up 149 on the ground. George Pickens leading the way for Pittsburgh, 5 for 111. This Pittsburgh defense, only 1 sack, but 2 picks of Aaron Rodgers. Obviously, one of those wasn't his fault. Garrett Wilson letting it hit him in the chest. I mean, what do you make of this one, Tony? I mean, what's your overall thought? I mean, is Pittsburgh that good, or are the Jets that much of a disaster?
I mean, I guess I would say it's just like a perfect storm between those two things. I mean, Steelers are a good team. I mean, no doubt, and they've proven that so far this year. Is their offense as good as putting up 37 on a defense that should be as good as the Jets? And I don't think so.
But also, I think the Jets defense might be trash.
It honestly might be now at this point.
Good morning.
Morning.
Nice win.
I mean, dude, like rushing for 149 on the ground. I mean,
pretty good.
Yeah, dude, I would say that's pretty damn good. And I mean, Russell Wilson stayed clean, maybe not the most effective, but still 264 through the air, no picks. I mean, there you go, dude. And I mean, it just seems like, that combination, I mean, I guess is going well for them. Yes, maybe the Jets defense isn't as good as they should be, but again, putting 37 up on them, I mean, the Jets could be doing better than that, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you have to find a way to get to Wilson. You have to find a way to clog up the middle, like the offensive line. I got to clog up those gaps there. Like,
yeah.
How do you just let, like, any offense, it seems, run through, up the middle of the field here? So it's kind of tough. And then obviously Jets in terms of offense, I mean, like you kind of said earlier, it's that lack of chemistry is what we've seen all season. The miscues on offense are just so apparent. And like deafening, dude. Like, it's just brutal. I mean, you're seeing Adams dropping passes. Breece Hall obviously has big runs, but does take a while to get going. What's his name? Gibson, I think, had a couple fumbles, right, dude? Yeah, Xavier Gibson, 2 fumbles. Like, you can't be doing these mistakes,
No.
Like, these are the mistakes we talked about week in and week out that in close games, like, kills you. And then obviously when you're against a good team here, it creates a landslide. So, I mean, like, what are we doing?
I mean, it's like for the Jets. I mean, do they try to just rip it down to the studs and then give like Sean McVay like $200 million to be the coach?
I guess. I mean, you certainly need a new coach in here.
An offensive coach
for sure. Someone who can maybe properly also like get some protection. I mean, I feel like maybe a new offensive line coach as well,
or just like a whole new offensive line once again. I mean, it's like, come on. Your plan to fix the offensive line was to, give Tyron Smith, who's like 35, like $20 million, and like just hope that they'll set the tone.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, and I mean, I suppose, I mean, you guys silenced Watt. I suppose, I mean, he wouldn't have much going on. He had 2 QB hits, no sacks though. Only 1 tackle, it looks like. So, I mean, I guess you did a good job there, but still, I mean, Rodgers is just getting too much pressure all the time. I know you only have the 1 sack. That's an improvement, but still, I mean, he's getting hit. And it's like, I don't know. If I'm Rodgers, I mean, I don't feel protected.
No,
I
absolutely
feel
not.
confident in my offensive line to protect me.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude.
So I don't know. It's just a mess. And I think they were going through it, I think it was actually, I was listening to Boomer and Gio, like the upcoming schedule. And obviously everybody's assuming that win in New England. But then after that, it's what?
Texans.
Home to the Texans, at the Cardinals, home versus the Colts, home versus the Seahawks, at the Dolphins. I mean, technically, yeah, you could like go on the run, Tony, but I don't know. It just seems like it's broken and it's not going to get fixed.
I mean, listen, I agree. It does seem very, very grim right now, but honestly, looking at that schedule, I mean, I think I kind of, it makes me feel a bit better.
Yeah,
dude.
But it's like, okay, you
1,
beat the
2, 3,
Patriots
4, 5, 6,
but then you blow it to the Texans and you're 3-6, and
you
need to like lose 1 game down the stretch to
go 5-1. Well, actually, honestly, I mean, that's not crazy. If you want to be 5-1 as you're going into Jacksonville.
No, I mean, you really could beat every team here besides, I don't know, the Bills in Orchard Park. I mean, I have a tough time thinking they're going to.
Yeah, dude, that's actually a great point. So, I mean, you could, in theory, turn your season around here if you go on that run.
What about that pen, dude?
Yeah, I know, right? It seems like Rodgers is hitting it. And I mean, I don't know, dude. I mean, you would imagine that Adams makes some type of impact, right? I mean, it's his first week back. I guess maybe a change of scenery, get adapted to the culture and the surroundings, right?
Yeah.
Or do you think that's already like a wash for Adams?
Come listen. On. It's obviously it's muscle memory.
What do you have? 3 receptions last week, yesterday? So like, come on.
But what I'm getting at is like, it just once like shit hits the fan, that's it. It's over. Everybody, like, there's definitely a lot of tension in that locker room. And as we would say, not good. Come on.
Oh, dude, yeah. I'm sorry you think that way.
Percentage to make the playoffs. I'm gonna say 3.
Yeah, dude. 3% is 7%.
But either way, that's 7%.
I know, like, it's not good.
And then if you think back to 2 years ago, like before the Achilles injury, it was just like waxing poetic about how good this is going to be, and like just right to the Super Bowl right away. And then it's just like what happens last year, the start to this year, giving up assets, and then like what Adams like is going to be traded again. Like, I
mean, it's been anything but what I feel like Jets fans kind of expected here, which is tough, dude. But I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe at the time, I don't know. I mean, I guess people will look back on this and be like, "Oh, Rodgers like got old, start doing ayahuasca, maybe in over his head, dude."
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like he is in over his head, like.
Yeah. I think you know what it is, especially the way everything's kind of jumbled together, and like they were kind of saying it. I think DNR were saying it, how it's like it's a good roster, but it's not a team. That too, and like you almost needed like a younger quarterback that like the team could grow with, not somebody who thinks he walks on water and is like gonna get tight, and like it's just not the right mix.
No, it's clearly not. And it's tough, dude. I mean that there's a lot of, I guess, systematic flaws with that. I mean, obviously, like you said, having someone who comes in and thinks he can just walk on water. I mean, that's why you need like a good head coach to keep that guy somewhat grounded. Yeah. Don't have that, dude.
No. Is that Matthew Ryan?
It is Matthew Ryan. Do you want to give
it to him for a second?
All right, dude. Hold on now. Let me put this guy on the Bluetooth here. No, it's not what I wanted. Damn it. All right, here we go. I hear you, Matthew. Calm down.
This is pathetic.
Yep. You're on, dude. You're on.
The culture change, pathetic, rebuild. I don't care even if we make a run, I don't care.
Really?
Rebuild.
I mean, if there's no run, dead in the water, Matthew. I'm going to say 7 is aggressive to say how many wins they could have here. This is over.
Yeah, no,
I'm
just saying if they make a run, I don't care. I want the rebuild. I want a whole winning culture, shake up the locker room, get rid of some of the core pieces we have, shake it up, rebuild. I'm sick and tired of this losing culture that was there. And I'm not because of the coach, the bust draft picks at quarterbacks like Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson.
Again, interesting you bring up Zach Wilson because I saw the stat that Mike shared with us actually that at this point in the season the Jets were 4-3 with Zach Wilson.
I think though, all seriousness,
they're used to losing. That's what it is. I hate to say it.
But also, no, because this is the thing. This was the ridiculous thing that everybody overlooked. The thought process that, well, we can't draft a quarterback, so we're just going to bring in Aaron Rodgers because, we don't know how to develop one. And it's just well, you don't know how to develop one because you don't have the right people in place. So, obviously, like we're just talking about, you need to tear it down to the studs, and you need to have all on the same clock, the quarterback, the coach, and the general manager, and they all need to be on the same page, and that's what you have to do. And if you're not going to do that, you're not going to do anything.
Yeah, like the culture is losing, and I'm not going to go into Zach Wilson until you know how I feel. But they honestly, the 2-5, they got blown out in the second half.
Not
shut out.
How
about a shutout? I mean, pitching the shutout.
I meant this is so bad. Garrett's gonna want out. If Garrett wants out, take him. Take him at this point.
Jeez.
I mean,
if Brees wants out, take him. Take him.
I mean, it is interesting. Do you just literally it's a complete fire sale and you have one of those scenarios
it's
where you have 10 first-round picks the next 3 years and just go for it that way?
It's time.
We got a fucking draft then.
You got to draft
well.
A czar, Tony.
A czar, dude.
Like a complete guru.
Czar Barnaby over there.
Any idea, Matthew? Who do we get for general manager? Do we poach? I mean, what are we doing here?
I would go. They have to fire. I'm going to assume everyone's fired.
Right.
They're going to get the GM and then they're going to get the coach.
But I'm saying, what organization do we go to? Do we get somebody from Kansas?
That'd be great, dude.
I have no idea. I have no idea. No reputable coach wants to come here.
No, but I'm saying get somebody from
an owner.
But you get somebody from a proud and organization that's done it right recently, and I think that's where you start. And then they have ties to other coaches. And my first thought here, and again, why is he going to want to come to this dumpster fire? We're going to have to pay him a lot of money. But I would say Lions offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson. That's a good place to start. So maybe assistant GM in Detroit and do it that way.
Do you think that a lot of these, but I feel like a coordinator in that type of organization isn't going to want to leave?
Do you know on Tankathon?
Get a chance to be a head coach, get a lot of money. Money talks.
We have the fifth. We have a fifth round pick in the first round in the Tankathon.
You mean the fifth overall pick?
Yeah, the fifth overall pick.
Yeah.
In the Tankathon, we have the fifth overall pick, and if we already have a fifth overall pick, our season's done.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
It's sad. I'm not even thinking we're gonna get 7 wins if we play like this all year.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
I just again, we got the clown who would want to work for the schmuck of an owner we have.
Yeah, that's also a big problem.
Yeah,
too,
they
right?
need. I'm trying to think who can come in.
Do you think they would bring in Belichick?
No. Belichick's gonna go to the Giants.
You really think so?
Yeah.
Belichick hates the Jets. There's no way.
Yeah, he's going to the Giants. He was still shitting on the Jets, I think, on the Manning cast.
Really?
Night. Yeah, the owner.
Yeah, a week ago, he was pretty much saying that the Jets are like undisciplined and that undisciplined was just true.
They are.
I mean, right? Is he wrong?
But honestly, I mean, I don't know about you, Matthew, but at this point, I mean, I really just have a tough time caring. Like, if they want to turn it around, it'll be exciting, sure. But just in general, not even about this season. It's like, who cares?
I don't care if they turn it around. even if they go 10-7, they're going to get their asses handed to them by a playoff team. They're going to, if anything, they're going to back into the playoffs if they get in. And right now, they lost too many conference games to get in. They lost the Browns, not the Browns, the Broncos, the Steelers. Who else did they lose at the AFC?
I don't know why I'm blanking on this. I mean, who did they win? I mean, they beat the
They
Titans.
lost to the Broncos.
They literally beat the Titans and the
They
Patriots.
beat the Titans and the Patriots. Yeah, they lost to the Niners.
To the Niners.
Niners, Vikings.
The Bills.
Vikings, the Bills.
The Bills.
The
Yeah, the Bills.
Steelers.
Oh.
Who's the other loss?
Did we just say 5?
Yeah, but we only said 4.
All right, fine.
49ers.
We said that. Yeah, we said Niners, Broncos, Vikings, Bills, Steelers.
Oh, okay. Okay. I think I didn't say the
Missed
Broncos.
count.
That's why I was confused.
So
Rex
now
Ryan?
at 2-5, people are saying I don't even want Hassan Reddick signed. Honestly,
I mean, he is though. Like, is he not? Like,
I don't.
Yeah.
I would just say you're great that you came, but we're gonna trade you.
And you know what I would say, Matthew? I think it's just the energy is better off not being spent here.
Yeah.
And I think the thought process going forward right now, you know what I'm going to say? Let's go Yankees.
Oh yeah. We actually the 15 fucking years I was a sophomore in high school when the Yankees went to the World Series.
Yeah. I mean, what a night on Saturday, huh?
Oh, that was a great night.
Unbelievable.
Yesterday sucked because of the Jets. I watched the Mets a little bit, but I saw them getting blown out, and that made it a little bit happier. But then I saw the Jets get blown out, so it didn't help.
Yeah. But I think nice reset, everyone rested up, and then full speed ahead Friday in Los Angeles. Let's go.
Oh, yeah, let's go. We're going to Yankees in 7. It's going to be a 7-game series.
Wow.
Wouldn't be surprised. But, yeah, can't wait. Looking forward to it. And, yeah.
And, Tony, what do you think they're going to do for the offseason now with Pete Alonso? Ooh.
I know, dude. I mean, they're kind of in a very precarious situation. I mean, it really depends on how much Pete is willing to budge, because at the end of the day,
you're cool. You won't have the same. You're going to have a lot of missing pieces next year.
Well, they got
bust your chops here.
I mean, they just got a lot of work to do.
I don't think you're going to get in the playoffs next year. I really don't.
I mean, obviously, I've kind of anticipated hearing that from you. But yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, they had a lot of moves to have been made here. You know, a lot of 1-year deals, a lot of flyers taking on pitchers. Not really sure what it's going to look like here.
And Carlos Mendoza was exposed in this series. Exposed.
I mean, I don't really think so. I don't think Mendoza made poor decisions. I mean, he was tasked with certainly something pretty hard, which was try to manage, you know, a pitching staff that wasn't really that great.
Who would you keep in the bullpen? You could. Everybody but Diaz is pretty much on the block.
Yeah, probably. I mean, Stanek was okay, but again, at his age too. I mean, I think he pitched some of the best baseball ever. So it's like, yeah, a lot. I would think everyone's up there on the chopping block, dude.
And you can forget Juan Soto going to the Mets. He's going to say the Yankee. I really believe that.
Yeah,
me too, brother.
Yeah, probably.
Me too.
He's going to say Yankee. It's going to be a nice little. It's going to be a dynasty again. It's going to be great.
What were you doing for the game on Saturday?
Oh, I was watching it at home.
Oh, just at home. Yeah. Fired up
some
though.
beers.
Nice.
Yeah, I was pumped. I was just like, it feels right to have the Yankees in the World Series.
Oh yeah. No, it just you feel like you don't even remember what the feeling was like, and here you are.
It feels normal. Baseball rolls back to normal. This is the first time in a while that a wild card team hasn't made it to the
World
dance,
Series. Yep. And the first time Yankees Dodgers 43 years.
Yeah.
And I was just telling Tony before, I think it's going to break a ratings record.
Oh, this is going to be the highest rated World Series in a long time, and I love the MLB got their what's it called? Their juices flowing with the 2 back-to-back New York teams in LA versus LA.
Why do you think they kept playing those Spark commercials?
Yeah. Come on, dude.
Come on, it was good.
Yeah.
Come
Come on, Tony.
What?
I want you to say, let's go Yankees. I want Tony to say, let's go Yankees.
I'm not going to say that. Why would I say that?
Oh, man.
Because the Mets got destroyed last night. Just 10-4.
All right. Yeah, you've had enough, Matthew?
Yeah, no, I think the point's been established, Matthew. Definitely
Yeah,
Rob. But
talk to you later, bye.
Yeah, talk to you later.
Talk to you later, Brian.
Great call. And I was just gonna say, as the theme we've been talking about a lot, nice to just like relax now because I'm definitely a little worn out from the weekend.
Oh, dude,
tight games, and it takes a lot out of you. Honestly,
yeah, of course.
Late nights,
tight dog here.
We got a bunch of comments.
Yeah,
let's get
dude.
To those.
Yeah, of course. Start with Yanni, dude. It says GM guys, shout out to the Liberty for getting the job done. Speaking of the Sparks, he said that he was emo as hell throughout the game, just happy that they won. Hopefully the titles start pouring into the city. Next up, please be the Yankees. Hashtag
Let's go
the
Yanks.
Company, dude. And then Matthew Ryan commented, Mets lost finally. Watch the Yankees. Time to rebuild, he says, in terms of the Jets. And he goes Yankees in 7. And then you're casual from YouTube here commenting, get it, Jerry. Retire Jerry.
Jerry Jones?
I think a lot of people, Jerry Jones?
Who do you think he was talking about?
I guess Jerry Jones, right?
Right? I mean, what's the other? Jerry. It's not Ben.
No.
Has to be.
Yep. And he goes, boy, you know, this team is super trash. I ain't lying. Play that Cowboys diss song. So it must be Jerry Jones. Good call there. Ernie in the building says, I know I said 21-10 Pittsburgh, but LOL, dude. That is true. Josh B says with a harder schedule last year, I guess, in terms of Zach Wilson being 4-3. Yep. Josh B's always on top of that. And then Matthew Gabriel in the house says, let's go, dude. Jets suck ass, dude. And then Josh B says, yo, Matty G. Ernie says, dude, welcome to my life. The last 4 years behind Rodgers, LMAO. Matthew Gabriel says, a tough, sorry, but to Tony here, that's me. Hell of a run for the Mets. That was wild. Absolutely. Josh B. Boy, he says. And he says to Yanni, the WNBA is beat. LOL. Ernie says, all of you took the Jets yesterday. LMAO. Well, you know, it's fans, whatever, dude. My mother says, hi, fellas. Congratulations, Brian.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, dude.
Appreciate it.
Ernie says, Yankee talk, time to call in LMAO. Yeah, well, you know, let's not clog the airways too much, you know?
Well, no, I mean, he can call in, but we still got a little football to talk about before we switch over to baseball.
Monday night,
Tony. Double header here. I mean, what do you think, though, honestly? Tasty matchups here or just the first game?
I mean, I guess both games potentially here. Yeah. Why not, dude?
But I mean, I would think Ravens Bucks has a chance to be like a pretty classic game. Chargers Cardinals could be good, but it also could be like Cardinals like lose like 20-10.
Yeah,
exactly.
But it could be close.
Yeah,
it could be. Will it? I don't know. But yeah, I feel like Ravens Bucks. I mean, the juice surrounding those two teams. I mean, come on.
And I am I'm confused where I stand, and obviously I'll have to say something pretty soon here, but with this Ravens Bucks game, because it seems like if you went by the way that these teams have played, you know, the last month or so, I mean, the Ravens have been looking like unbeatable. The Bucks have played well.
Mm-hmm.
Couple kerfuffles.
Right.
So it's just like, but also then it's like the Ravens, they start 0-2, then they win 4 straight. They do, but I do go into this one thinking, despite being on the road, I mean, the Ravens are the team to beat here.
Yeah, no, I think so too. And I still think that, you know, Baker still, I feel like in that scenario where it's like, yes, I mean, his career now, tremendous from what it was looking like, but still has to prove that he can, you know, take a team further, you know.
And this would be a huge game. And how about this? Lamar Jackson, I believe it's like 20-1 against the NFC or something. Only lost against Danny Jones and the Giants. He's beaten every other NFC team that he's played.
That's pretty wild.
So just a little food for thought there. Ravens right now 3 and the hook. Total set at 49.5. And then an exclusive ESPN Plus endeavor. Cardinals hosting the Chargers. Cards hot start, have tapered. Chargers have injuries all over the place, but find themselves 3-2 here right now. Short favorites at -1.5. Marvin Harrison had the concussion question, but it looks like he'll be good to go.
That's right.
Like, how do you even handicap this? I mean, my only thought is just like, well, Cardinals are inconsistent, Harbaugh, and it just makes me think the Chargers. But is that too simplistic, Tony?
No, I don't think so. I think keeping it simple would be smart here. I mean, if you just trust in Herbert, he's someone who's played, I would say pretty clean. I guess not as much production as you would want. I think one of the fewer quarterbacks here that's still at under 1,000 yards through the air for the season. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like Chargers, even though they're 3-2, they kind of sit as like a little bit disappointing still. I think they're, I don't know. It's tough, dude.
Well, it's one of those things where there's just no style points. You win this game, you're 4-2, you're pretty good.
Yeah, no, very true, very true.
Last year,
but it's just like, I don't know. I could see them losing this game.
Yeah,
but like, I don't know. Me personally, I don't like Murray, so like I would lean Chargers. But I mean, it is, like you said, it's tough to kind of handicap this game here, and I mean that's why the spread's only -1.5 too. So,
yeah. No, you're right.
It's tough, dude.
Do you think the Baltimore Tampa game is going to go down to the last possession?
No, actually, I don't. I
think Ravens handle it.
No.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
It's only the second team of his career beating him.
And I think it'll be like, maybe Bucs defense doing a good job in controlling the run game. All right. We know how effective Henry's been, but you would imagine, listen, teams are anticipating this. Let's call up those, middle holes. Let's not give him any edge. Forces Lamar to throw. Fourth quarter, pick 6, puts it away.
Wow.
Next drive, maybe 3 and out. Bucs come down, touchdown again, 2 scores up. And that's kind of how I would.
Well, Tony, I guess you know what I would say. Let's just make it official. Let's do a Monday Night Football NFL Frenzy Week 7 coming to a close.
Wow, dude, let's freaking go! The double headers back at it here for Monday Night Football. And we were just talking about it. Hey, let's go. 8:15 p.m. The Buccaneers out of Tampa taking on the Ravens here. You said it, both teams 4-2. Ravens 2-1 record on the road. Bucs 2-1 here at home. The spread, Baltimore -3.5. Total is 49.5, Brian. We know the tale of these two quarterbacks boasting similar numbers. Similar, I guess, statures of career. Obviously, Baltimore, the run game, very efficient. Tampa, though, pretty gritty on defense. Brian, lay it down here.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's close early, but I don't know. I just can't see Tampa winning this game. And I think they're a good team, but I think the Ravens are rolling. Derrick Henry, unbelievable, already 700 yards and 8 touchdowns. So I think it's that mix of run and pass here. Henry over 100 again. I'm sure Lamar probably has a rushing touchdown, probably a passing touchdown or 2. So I think the Ravens are scoring some points. And like I said, maybe tight game early, pull away second half. But I like Baltimore here by the mark of 28-21. So it's the Ravens and just on the under.
Let's freaking go, Brian. Absolutely love that, dude. All right, next game, second game, best game here for Monday night, 9 p.m. Glendale, Arizona, dude. The Cardinals taking on the Chargers. Could be a good one here, Brian. Our over-under, we said 44.5. That's spread tight for the Chargers here, -1.5. Herbert, Murray, 2 quarterbacks trying to prove themselves here. The coaching abilities coming out of Los Angeles. Who knows what's going to happen, Brian? Tell us.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, and you mentioned coaching, and that's really what does it for me here, because I think, the Cards, you could argue, maybe even have more talent, especially on offense here, but I just believe in Harbaugh going up against a Cardinals team that's only 2-4 with a quarterback that, has played decently well, but is definitely inconsistent. I think he will really try to play to those deficiencies. So I don't know if this will be, a high-scoring game at all, and it might not be that exciting, but I think Harbaugh finds a way, and I'm going to just stick with what I said earlier. Give me the Chargers 20-10, and I think J.K. Dobbins runs for $150 in the score.
And then just like that, dude.
That is your NFL Monday Night Frenzy.
So if you had to put, I guess, one game over the other here, is it going to be Bucks Ravens?
Yeah.
Yeah, like handily.
Oh, yeah. Because, the Ravens are interesting, especially with that 0-2 start to really, just be rolling. And that's what they are, where they are right now. But, again, what's going to happen, down the stretch, playoffs. But it's just interesting time in the NFL. And it's like, to you, obviously we have one undefeated team in the Chiefs, but does anybody stand out to you as the best team in the league, or do you think that's very much show up for grabs right now?
Yeah, no, I think it is very much so up for grabs. Even the Chiefs. I guess we said it last year too. They do look like they can be beatable.
Mahomes, 6 touchdowns, 8 picks. That's absolutely insane. That's
really
never
is.
happened.
And for them to be undefeated, what the hell, man?
Good defense.
Great defense. The running game has been doing
Hunt
really well too.
It's been pretty solid.
So it is kind of crazy, but again, with stats like that coming from your quarterback, you would imagine at some point, a team could get to them. So I think it's totally up for grabs. I think, and there's a multitude of teams that I would throw in there, to be honest. Again, the Ravens being one of them, the Bills, again, arguably the Bucks. Obviously the Vikings.
Yeah, the Bills are
Lions.
interesting. Is it Amari Cooper? I really think that's going to end up paying huge dividends.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely.
So that'll be interesting. And, looking ahead here. So obviously we got the 2 Monday Night Football games tonight, and then on to week 8, which doesn't even seem right, Tony.
Nope.
Vikings at Rams. We're going to start it. So Al Michaels juiced and jacked up for that one. The Rams finally winning again, but 2-4. Vikings just lost their first game, so they're going to want to get some revenge here. So that'll be on Thursday, and then Sunday starting at 1, Eagles-Bengals. I think that should be a good game. Bengals slight favorites there, -2.5. A win will take them from 0-3 to 4-4, which is pretty good.
Huge.
Ravens-Browns, that should be a snooze fest, even though that one's in Cleveland. Lions-Titans, snooze fest. That could get ugly quick.
Oh, yeah.
Cards-Dolphins, again, probably a snoozer. Jets-Pats, probably a snoozer. Falcons-Bucks, I think will be good. Packs-Jags, probably a snoozer. But maybe not. The Jags did look good, but then again, it was the Patriots. Colts-Texans could be good. Usually those games are exciting. It just, can really both offenses get going, because Stroud only had, 86 yards last game?
Yeah. Not good.
So, but a division matchup, Saints-Chargers, Bills at Seahawks could get interesting. It just depends what type of version of the Seahawks we'll see at Lumen Field, Tony.
That's right.
Panthers-Broncos, snooze fest. Chiefs-Raiders, probably snooze fest, but the Raiders did beat the Chiefs last year. Bears-Commanders, I think, will be pretty good. Daniel should be good to go. Mariota did a good job filling in. Cowboys-Niners on Sunday night. That'll be interesting. What team is going to get exposed more? Both teams earning to get back in the win column. And then Giants-Steelers. You would think in Pittsburgh, that game could get ugly.
Yeah, I would think so, dude. In Pittsburgh, Giants are horrible.
Yeah, Giants in trouble, Tony.
Lots of trouble.
Yeah,
lots of trouble. But hey, week 8 is going to be pretty exciting, I think, overall.
Yeah, a couple good games there,
dude.
Yeah. So just like that, we're almost halfway through the season, which just doesn't seem right. But let's go now to the world of Major League Baseball.
It's deep to left. It's 700. Albert Pujols.
Yeah, what a play! Stop it. Yep. And Alonso cracks one of the Mets win the ball game. Out of sight.
And it works at 100 miles an hour. 14 strikeout.
Throw deep to left field. There it goes. See ya.
All right, Tony. So just figured you'd like to put a bow on the season and You know what I mean? What did you see out there last night? Overall thoughts? I mean, where are you right now?
I mean, for the game itself, I mean, I think a lot of it started and ended with Sean Manaea. Obviously that first inning, Lindor getting over to the third, being brought in by whether it was Vientos or Taylor, I forget who, or Alonso that had the sac fly RBI. Mets go up 1-0, and you're like, all right, this is great, dude. This is the bullpen game the Dodgers are going to do. We're getting to their bullpen right now. This guy's going to do one inning, Michael Kopech, and then we'll just be ripping through all their bullpen guys. But obviously, you go to the bottom half of that inning, and Sean Manaea gives up runs of his own.
Tommy.
Not good. Yeah, Tommy Edman, a guy who seemed like and that's kind of funny because I feel like it was Tommy Edman, who's like one of those
Journeyman.
Yeah, journeyman. But a guy that was kind of an unsung hero,
Right.
I mean, someone who really didn't, not like he was very much impactful in the regular season. It's almost like when we had issues pitching to Tommy Pham against the Padres in the wild card series. It's like your seventh hitter in the lineup and he's giving you issues. Like, that's crazy. Like, who would anticipate that? But obviously that was a significant wrench there for the entire series for the Mets pitching staff. And obviously Manaea going 2 innings, giving up 5 earned runs. Obviously a couple of those were inherited, not inherited, but Matone had the inherited runs. But regardless, I mean, you put those men on base, they're earned runs for you. And Manaea, I mean, you just needed someone who could have a solid quality start, and that's not what you got at all from Manaea. And yeah, there were points where the Mets were, in the position to score some more runs, didn't. Like, I think it was the 7th inning with Winker coming up, bases juiced. You gotta capitalize on opportunities, So I mean, those two combinations right there is obviously a recipe for a loss. It's tough, dude. I mean, the series was pretty much one-sided for the most part. Dodgers, it just seemed like they, as many good teams do, as the best teams in the league do, especially in the postseason, they will accentuate your flaws. And I mean, the biggest flaw the Mets had throughout the entire year was their pitching staff and the ability to hold runs, to get saves, to limit runs early against teams. I think the Dodgers scored, was it 40 runs? No, hold on. In this series, I think it was 40, which is like a
9, 12, 20, 30,
40,
36, 46.
46 runs, which I think
6 games, 6 times 8, 48.
48. So I mean,
almost 8 runs a game.
That is, I think, a record in the championship series, which is ridiculous. I mean, you're clearly giving up too many runs, obviously. And we talked about the Mets struggling with walking people, putting them on base in scenarios that really shouldn't even have occurred. And it's tough, dude. I mean, again, that was probably the biggest thing that the Mets just didn't have, the depth in their pitching. Which again, I mean, I guess people could see coming. I mean, 7-game series is vastly different to navigate than a 5-game series. I don't think people realize that either.
Oh yeah.
And even though the Dodgers had pitching woes of their own, I mean, they had guys like Flaherty, like Buehler step up in big spots, and that's what you needed to come out of Manaea, out of Peterson. Even though Peterson gets you the win, I guess you can say Quintana, out of Manaea, and they did not step up. They did not have 5 innings, 1 earned run would have been great out of Manaea last night.
Yeah.
That was navigatable. So I mean, I don't know, dude. It's tough. Obviously, and at the end of the day, I mean, Dodgers, I mean, their lineup was just really smart about who was pitching and what to look for, what to expect. I mean, I think they showed such patience at the plate. Again, understanding that the Mets don't have great pitching, that they're going to try and pitch around certain batters in your lineup, to again just have that disciplined eye at the plate, let them pitch to you and force pitchers to throw the pitch that they don't want to throw. And that's exactly what the Dodgers did. And then they capitalize on that pitch that the pitcher doesn't want to throw because it's an absolute, meatball.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's that, dude. I mean, that's really the end of that. And I mean, yes, as a Met fan, I guess you can recognize that they got further than anyone ever thought they would. So that's cool. It does obviously suck not able to get the job done here, knowing too what was lying ahead for them if they had gotten to the World Series. So yeah, dude, and again, yeah, it is the overhead notion of what to expect the team's gonna look like next year. I mean, obviously everyone's another year older. And especially with just how much magic, it seemed that the Mets had, to take down, heavy hitting teams like the Phillies, like the Brewers. I mean, you gotta, I guess, tip your hat. I mean, that August into September was probably some of the craziest baseball I've seen the Mets play. Not to mention, having 2 series against the Phillies in September, having the Braves mixed in there with the rain delay,
having
playing
to win on the last day.
Yeah, having to win on the last
Doubleheader.
day, like having no off days coming into the wild card, going into the championship series, like you didn't have any off days leading up to the playoffs. You played a ridiculous stretch of baseball in such a short amount of time. So much meaningful baseball. I mean, every one of I feel like you were in the postseason for an entire month before you got to October, So, I mean, that's cool. I mean, it was a great ride, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, you definitely have this thought in the back of your head, as as a lot of, I guess, fans would the day after. It's like just, this could never happen again. Like that's what it feels like.
Not going to come together like that with a group like this.
I mean, there's absolutely no way. There's no way, because the chances of you getting this series was ridiculous, dude. Like, I literally counted out. Like, I forget what the percentage was, but it was single digits that they were making this postseason. Crazy.
And then to have a 1-1 series going back to New York. I mean, you were in position. But just too tall of a task. And really, I mean, I think honestly, I mean, you talk about overproducing. I mean, like we kind of talked about in the beginning of the year. I mean, this was somewhere between like a 70 and 80 win roster.
Yeah.
They got 89 and to the NLCS. I mean,
crazy. It is crazy, but it does. I mean, I don't know. It does suck. It sucked even more so because of that. Like you said, you lose 2 games at home in this series. Like what the fuck, man? And you really, I mean, I hate to just blame one aspect, but I mean, if your starters just like pitched as well as they did in September, if Quintana and I pitched as well as they were doing in September, like it would have been.
But you think it was a combination? Obviously, Dodgers swinging the bat well, but also these guys. I mean, I think Manaea, career high innings. I mean, they're just shot.
Yeah, no, I guess so. I mean, all of these guys have had their career years. Peterson, Manaea,
Quintana,
Quintana. Yeah. So I mean, it's obviously you were asking a lot from them, and this was it coming to a head. Because again, everything I just said, just all the excitement, those long games, those long stretches of meaningful baseball, it takes a lot out of a team where your bullpen is getting exhausted. So I guess it is what it is. I don't think any of this is an indictment on Mendoza. I think he managed a great year, to be honest. And I think navigating that bullpen, navigating your starting rotation, I think he did a tremendous job, to be honest. And up until this series, I mean, those guys were all answering the bell, against the Phillies, against the Brewers, like all these guys were answering the bell. So, I mean, they play hard for a manager they hadn't liked, clearly. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I guess it all, the magic just kind of ran out there at the end.
And is it probably tougher too? Because it's like, obviously there's going to be some guys that are big parts of this team, of course, on the team next year, but is it tougher just because it feels like there's going to be a ton of turnover at the same time?
Yeah. I mean, you really don't know like what's going to happen with, like, let's say Sevy. Obviously Iglesias, you'd imagine, isn't going to be around. Taylor, maybe not.
Yeah.
What's going to happen with Marte? I mean,
he 2 more years on the contract? Or?
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, obviously he's someone who still struggles with injury, was out for a portion of this year as well. So it's like, I don't know. And then obviously Alonso is a big question mark.
Do you think because, he had a couple big hits here and there postseason, like that their minds kind of changed a little bit where, they're going to kind of make more of an effort there?
I think so. I mean, I think, he had a couple big hits against the Brewers, against the Phillies. Could there have been more? Certainly. But it does kind of seem like that he could be the guy, especially in the postseason, to continue to make big hits and to have an impact. So I don't know, man. It's tough. It's really tough. I think it's just got to come down to the right number, you know.
And you
And
could
the right
see
amount of
Stearns
years.
bringing out the spreadsheet, the data analyzation.
Yeah.
The lines are getting tight.
I think Stearns is looking at this postseason right now and like kind of licking his chops, to be honest. I think he's going to go through every aspect of this team with a fine tooth comb. Because I think, at this point, I would imagine Stearns feels pretty good, to be honest. With the way the season
where
went.
you got, obviously it's tough to have perspective the day after a loss, but I mean that's definitely true. One thing I would say though, despite having some good moments this year, I I think it would be the best thing for them to stay away from Sevy. Because I think,
I think so too.
It worked out this year, but like don't reinvest and double down.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. And to be honest, I know it's crazy. I mean, here's another pitcher though for the postseason, just did not show up.
What did I say though? Track record.
Yeah, it wasn't great in the postseason.
Yeah.
Still isn't great. So I mean, listen, especially like after what I was just saying, like your rotation and your bullpen were your biggest problems.
Mm.
I mean, then like you gotta fix it. You gotta bring in better pitchers.
I mean, a lot of rumors about Burns. Obviously, there'll be interest all over the league.
Yeah, of course.
But I mean, it seems like that would be a good place to start on the pitching front.
Yeah, no, I would think so. And obviously like properly rehabbing Senga as well. Like let's get him totally healthy. Obviously Peterson, great year. Give him another shot. Certainly. I think he's only 28 years old. So
something like that. Yeah.
Love that. What's McGill's future gonna look like? I don't know.
You probably just would like to say see ya.
Yeah, kind of. And again, same thing. Minaya and Quintana is just so like I don't know what to think about that, to be honest.
Yeah, and then it really, even though it's so it requires so much restraint, like but with a bunch of these guys you're talking about, it's like might just be better off just letting them go.
Yes, honestly, you really might be.
Minaya can opt out, right? Player option. Yeah,
Player option.
Out. But it's like career high in innings. I mean, what does the next year usually look like? Deep into October, right?
Not great, dude.
So yeah, a lot of decisions to be made. And you think it's something too where as the days go on, like the kind of gloom feeling that you feel right now is going to kind of die down and it'll be a little easier to reflect, or you think it's going to be a while where it's like you're going to think what if I don't know.
It might be a little while, dude.
Yeah, because it's just like you got farther than you should, but once you were there, expectations changed, and that's just what it is.
Yeah, no, for sure, dude. And just I don't know, dude. I just thought the Dodgers lineup was something you could navigate. I mean, their pitching was something you can navigate. Obviously, a team that's always blown it too. I guess kind of expected that, but they really just didn't have. They had one bad game in game 2.
Yeah.
And that was really it, dude.
That's true. So yeah, be interesting to see what they do in the offseason. And obviously our World Series matchup is set. Game 1 Friday in Los Angeles. Yankees Dodgers, first time in 43 years. I think this series is going to be one of those all-time classics. It seems like it's setting up for that.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean everything, Judge, Ohtani, like the organizations, the players involved, the history. I mean, it is like one of those series that just seems like you can't really like chalk it up any better,
Yeah, and I think one, like we were talking about, that we've been waiting for a while to sort of finally get that. And then I always think it's cool in any sport when you have like a series, like for the championship, and it's East Coast, West Coast, like full cross country
big rivalry.
flights.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
So
I hope that it does like become. Like, I want it to go 7. Like, it would be exciting.
Would be crazy. And so I just can't believe. I wonder if they're gonna change it. But we were talking about
we're
yesterday.
Getting a phone call here.
Ernie. He was mentioning calling.
Could be, honestly. Stand by. Someone from New Jersey, so it could be.
It's
Ernie.
It's definitely Ernie.
Ernie from Kearney.
Oh, what's up?
Yo,
what's going on, brother?
Not much, man. Just listening in. I've been doing my morning do Dutchess,
Yeah, of course, dude.
Yeah. So Yankees Dodgers, what do you think?
I'm excited. This could be, like you said, one of the biggest World Series probably in recent history. Just the amount of money it's gonna generate is insane.
Oh
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. The star power, the cross country trips. I mean, it's going to be absolutely nuts. And of course, baseball has it set up where they avoid the Sundays, so LA gets the weekend series, and the Yankees have a Monday through Wednesday. Actually, yeah. So Game 3, Yankee Stadium, 1 week from today.
Bang.
You
Yep,
see,
it's exciting.
I mean, I'm sure stuff will change, but right now, like get-in price is like almost 1,100.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh,
1300 is what I saw. Like, I was literally talking to Marsh about it, and I was like, you know what? This is like a bucket list kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
if it's somewhere manageable, like I'm going. I don't know if I go alone, I'm
Yeah.
going. Like,
Yeah.
but I opened the tickets, and then I told her, I was like, damn, I was so happy and so heartbroken in a matter of 2 hours that it's just like, oh nah, it's like 300 for like nosebleeds.
Yeah. Yeah. What I'm seeing, is Ticketmaster, the standing room. It's like just under 1,100.
wild.
It's crazy too when you think about it too. It's like that much, and then there's almost 50,000 seats. So just thinking about the amount of revenue that's generated by these games,
Unbelievable, dude.
especially if it's a long series, which it certainly may be.
And I would be honest, man, spending like $2,000 to get a good seat, possibly watch your team get their kicked in the World Series. It's very, it's I don't know, it's rough. It's rough.
Yeah, but I think it's just one of those things, and it's like perfect parallel is this past week. After losing that tough game to Cleveland in Game 3, that you just always have that belief in your team, and the way that they bounced back, on Friday and Saturday was really unbelievable. So it's just really gives me a lot of confidence going into this one. Not to say it's not going to be a challenge, but I just think the guys are so dialed in and ready to go.
I think it's a 6-7 game series, and
Mhm.
personally, I'm going to put the Soto series. I think whoever gets Soto.
Wow. It's not who. It's come on. We've been waiting too long, Ernie. It's
I
time.
mean, of course, I'm going to Yanks in 6, but I mean, it is like I'm a fan at the end of the day to say Yanks in 6.
Yeah.
Do I think it's going to be a very rough, thought out? Like, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we're gonna be
'cause I
stressed
think-
out for sure.
Yeah, be stressed. It's not going to be one of those like things go the way they're supposed to go. We win 5 or 6. Like, nah, man. This is going to be one of those series that it's like, all right. I'm glad the series the way we did against Cleveland though, because at least it's us for what's coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the fact too that you had all these games were like for years and years, and it was insane how Stanton's home run back for the DS was like the first one we had 8th inning or later to take a lead in 12 years, and then all of a sudden we just start rattling them off almost every game, whether Stanton, Soto, Judge. The big hits is what makes a difference in the postseason.
Well, it's like if anybody watched the series, actually watched each game, each pitch, each at bat. Like if you watch that series, you cannot say that the Yankees don't win from behind. You can't say that the Yankees can't. You can't say the Yankees can't hold a lead. You can say that the Yankees bullpen is shaky. You like a lot of things that you could have said in what July and August that you can't say now.
Yeah.
So it's like now it's just a matter of your job. Everybody needs to do their job. Like who needs to keep Stanton behind Judge, behind Soto? Like that needs to be our 2, 3, 4. As Wells, anybody else cannot be fourth. Like
You got to put
it's
the
just-
dead weight lower in the lineup for now.
and then work it out, because then you give the 7, 8, 9 a guy an opportunity to actually do something. You get what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
like you cannot, you can't have that middle between Stanton and Judge, because now what happens is, they're gonna notch to Stanton because they're gonna go to 5. Like they have
Right.
pitch. Like you get what I'm saying? Like they need to pitch now. With the way Gley's pitching, hitting, they need to pitch the top 5 part of the lineup. They need to.
Yeah.
Walker, they can't get around it. So
yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see what they do for the lineup. If they make many changes. One guy you could move up, not that high, but maybe even like after Stanton or something, or maybe even, whatever. But Volpe really impressed me the last, few games here. Seems like he's really seen the ball well. So I just think I would just pretty much sign off for anybody other than Jasmine Wells to be hitting behind Stanton, pretty much.
personally, I want you asked me my lineup. I want Verdugo behind Stanton,
Okay.
Volpe behind Verdugo,
Yeah, you could do that.
and then you could match like however you want to keep the other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
the other
and
part
I
of the
know
lineup,
Boone
like,
doesn't want the end of the lineup, a lane for the lefties, but I just feel like
I say you put a Jazz 9. Personally, I think you put 9.
yeah,
In my opinion, like
in Wells
Jazz
8
9.
maybe, honestly.
Yes, put Wells 8.
Yeah, because I just think it takes pressure off of them, and usually that's when you get results.
And the thing is, it's two lefties. It's like if you get to a point in an inning where it's 8 and 9, lead off and they go to the bullpen for a lefty, force a lefty to pitch to Glaber.
Yeah, exactly. But
And if he pitches, and if he pitches Glaber and he can't get past Soto, now what does he have?
Yeah,
you get what I'm like. It's a double lefty on the bottom of your lineup necessarily hurt you if you can get somebody on base.
well, and
'Cause that
especially that
bullpen
we
move-
got righty coming up after them too. So
and that's what I'm saying.
it
So
up.
it's like if you can potentially like it's defense to that lefty bullpen move.
Yeah, absolutely. So, so riled up. And one interesting thing, and we'll have a little time here to see what they do, but I wonder if Nestor is gonna heal up in time for the series. What do you think about that? I'm not saying as a starter, but just wouldn't be bad to have him out of the pen, huh?
Oh no, we're gonna see Stroman and Nestor come out of the pen this series. I'm almost positive. If any of our starters get into a rough little patch, I think at some point Stroman and Nestor might make an appearance.
I mean, it would be nice if we could just keep our roster the way it is and then just add Nestor and drop Stroman. I don't know. Stroman, unless it's like a blowout game, I really don't want him pitching. His last time he pitched for us, he looked so bad.
Oh. I'm still eye on Stroman. I've always wanted him to be a Yankee, even though he struggles. I've always said he's a vibe guy. So like I think in the moment he would perform. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I've always said the same thing about
last time, but I know what you mean. And he got off to such a good start, so that's why I just don't understand. I mean, if it's just a matter of like location, but why like the recent starts had been such a struggle.
Yeah, I get what you mean too. Like that's why I don't necessarily argue Stroman's value with people because it's like I can see both sides of it. So it's just like, but like for Verdugo, for example, I've been high on Verdugo, and like I told everybody before the playoffs started, he's gonna be one of our guys that you'll see. He's gonna do his job and come up clutch in moments that he needs to, and so it's like come think in this series again, Verdugo is going to be a big help. Stan's going to be a big help. I think Judge shakes off whatever the hell's going on with him and finally at least looks comfortable back at the plate somewhat. And the pitchers that the Dodgers have real fastball heavy. So it's like he could just come out swinging and be who we need him to be. I think Glaber has a good series. Volpe has a good series. So it's like, that's who I'm riding. My FanDuel is going to be all about the entire series.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's amazing too, because I was very like, why aren't we starting Dominguez instead of Verdugo? But every time he makes a good play in the field, I find myself saying, thank God he's out there. It just gives you a sense of comfort. You don't have room for those type of errors in the field. So he's done that. He's had some big hits. So it's definitely exciting stuff. And I can't wait for game 1 on Friday.
I'm going to be biting my nails. I might have to watch the whole game in the car. I'm not even going to lie to you. From opening pitch to final pitch, I am going to have to watch it here. But I tell you what, though, we should have a World watch party. That would be dope.
Yeah, we'll have to sort that out. That would be cool for sure.
Me and Josh will take a.
Oh yeah,
no doubt, man. But we will definitely talk more Yanks with you before we get started on Friday. But as always, man, appreciate you giving us a call.
No doubt, boss. I'll keep it.
All right, man. Ernie. So a great call there. And before we wrap up, let's just make a quick trip, Tony, to the world of the National Hockey League.
Here he comes. McDavid shoots, top shelf, he scores! Captain with the overtime winner. That's the middle quick. That's a world-class hit right here. Tomsky stepping, rink Washington made the full split save.
Are you kidding me?
Turn, side of the net, between the legs, and they score! Filthy! David Pastrnak, the silver trophy to the Golden Knights.
All right. So really what I just wanted to mention, obviously we have one game tonight.
One game.
You know, in the NHL, I guess you're worried about the doubleheader for football. But
Yes,
anyway, Rangers Saturday night in Toronto, 4-1. So the Rangers now 4-1 on the season.
There we go.
Another great game for Igor, 34 of 35. And you know, a game that they controlled early and they kind of coasted the rest of the way. Laffy with a goal in the first period made it 1-0. He has 3 goals on the season already. Kreider with his 4th in the second, so 2-0 after 2. Austin Matthews made it 2-1, 3.5 minutes or so into the third, but then the Rangers just play solid defense and get 2 empty netters late. Kreider's second of the game is 5th, and Panarin's 6th. So nice to see they could win a game like this. And of course, you look at the score, you're like, oh, they must have killed him. But really, it was a very tight game. And you love to see it because this is the type of game you need to have in the postseason.
Yeah, definitely. And this is what you would expect, or at least a team you would expect to see in the postseason as well. And being the Toronto Maple Leafs, obviously another team, you know, that you serve them their second loss, you know, of the year at this point. And I mean, yeah, you know, Anthony Stolarz is someone who's, I guess, a bit of a question mark in terms of, you know, what he can put down the stretch of the year. But regardless, I mean, you know, Nylander, Reeves, obviously Tavares, I mean, Mitch Marner, Matthews, the usual suspects here. I think you did a good job in I guess, eliminating some of the ancillary players. Obviously, Matthews still getting 9 shots on goal with that goal in the third. You know, obviously Igor, you rely on him as you typically do to make big saves. 34 saves, I should say, is no easy feat when they're coming from, you know, the Maple Leafs. So, I mean, they played a great game, very physical too. You saw Matt Rempe there in the lineup. He got into a fight with Reeves. I don't know if you saw that. But, you know, playing his game, Mika with 2 assists, playing his game.
Vinny had an assist or 2, right?
Trocheck had an assist. That's right.
Yeah.
I think he had the assist on Panarin's goal on the empty netter. But regardless, I mean, you know, they're playing some well-oiled hockey right now. And all of these goals seemingly coming from their top 6 players, which is great because you need them to continue to produce, especially in the postseason. But again, I mean, you know, you are expecting some contributions from your bottom 6 players at some point as well. So, I mean, if the Rangers could get that chemistry down for the bottom 6, I mean, they're going to be a harder team to beat than they were last year.
Yeah, and you think about all that stuff, and obviously it all ties together. But then, what if Igor, you know, wins the Vezina?
Yeah, if he's playing top notch, I mean, that's what you need. Obviously,
betting on himself.
Yeah, that's what he needs.
I mean, could we say like an Aaron Judge like type of season? You know, maybe not 62 homers, but you know, maybe 50, 60 wins.
Yeah, no, I think so, dude.
56.
No, I mean, I think Igor, I mean, he is extra dialed in. I mean, he knows what's at stake here, not even just for the team, but for his career as well. I mean, not for nothing, obviously last season, you know, didn't have this. So
right.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
To start off.
It's just funny though that like we were having that like serious conversation about how like, oh, for the playoffs, Quick just be the goalie.
Well, you were saying that, dude. I don't know.
You were getting a little riled. Everybody was riled. I mean,
well, Quick was playing so fucking good too,
Yeah.
like unbelievable. I mean, the way he was backing up was very impressive. So
yeah,
I give him his credit.
And do you feel like now, you know, with the Mets, you know, playoff season over, that you know Rangers, I mean, you're going to be extra.
I mean, it's full
dialed.
throttle now on the Rangers. Yeah.
So you're
Like-
pretty pumped about that in a sense. Obviously, you wish it didn't come at the expense, but now that we're here, you're pumped for the Rangers.
Yes, Brian, well said.
Game against one of your favorite teams, the Canadiens, tomorrow in Montreal.
Should be chalk, easy. Like, come on.
Should be.
You
think
these never are, though.
Yeah, that's true. Caulfield off to a good start.
Yeah. Typically. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you're always a little worried. I feel like the Canadiens, even however bad they may be, sometimes, these teams do give the Rangers a run for their money, a team that they've seen that has history between the two organizations, obviously. And then, the U.S. Canadian rivalry. You're in Montreal as well. So it's, not the easiest place to play at the Bell Center there. So, you want to keep them in check. But again, you would imagine, I mean, if, Panarin, who's got fucking 12 points on the year already, continues to score, Igor plays his game, you build upon what you've already put down in the first 5 games. I mean, it should be an easy win.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely. You see the Winnipeg Jets 5-0.
Is that so, dude? Actually, I did not have that on my radar, dude.
3 over the Penguins.
I mean, listen, they have one of the top goaltenders in Connor.
Oh no, Comrie got the start. But
Comrie
used to be on the Flyers.
Was it the Flyers?
Sabres.
Buffalo Sabres. Buffalo Sabres. But yeah, dude, they have Connor Hellebuck.
Yes.
For the Jets, dude, which obviously is great. A team leading into the postseason did kind of fumble it last year.
After having a surprise season.
Exactly. So I guess, we'll kind of see how it lays out for them. I still think they could use more. I mean, Kyle Connor, I think, is someone who did kind of fall off, which was a big reason why they weren't effective in the postseason. So you want him to continue to kind of, I guess, build upon his career. Mark Scheifele, that's how you say his name. I kind of forget.
Like Xander Schauffele?
Xander Schauffele, Mark Scheifele. That's definitely not it. But regardless, Neil Pionk as well, Josh Morrissey. I mean, those are guys that were showing up last year. Love Gabriel Velarde. He was a third-line guy who they definitely expected way more from. He was coming over from the Kings, I believe, actually, in that trade for Jean Pajot, I think, or whatever the hell his name is. Terrible for the Kings. But obviously, Velarde, hopefully, he can figure it out there for the Jets, and maybe Nino Niederreiter, a little bit of the grizzled vet here, having a long-standing career. I remember him playing with Minnesota back a few years ago. So I don't know. I mean, I think things are looking up for Winnipeg. We'll see though. I mean, I think that that central division there is going to be tough. Obviously, you have Minnesota, you have Dallas, Colorado. I'm sure will be making a splash. Predators out to an 0-5 start, Brian, but.
I mean, I don't think
they're going to turn it around.
It's like a Pittsburgh thing.
What
are they doing?
I don't know. I guess we'll see. I mean, Saros, great, obviously. Stamkos is their big acquisition in the offseason. So
I think he just had his first points over the weekend.
Did he?
Season, yeah.
I mean, I think that they're bound to get going. I think the Central is going to be competitive. So we'll see what happens. Winnipeg hopefully can find themselves in the running. Should be interesting to see what Utah does too in their inaugural season over there in Utah. Sometimes those inaugural seasons can get a team going,
Yeah, like the Knights.
Exactly. So I think it's going to make some great competitive hockey. Hopefully Winnipeg is in the mix there. They've been a team that's been building for a while. So we'll see what happens, dude.
Yeah.
Kind of a shame about the slate tonight, to be honest. Like, why not go head to head with NFL?
They're just tight. They're nervous. They don't want to do it.
Like, come on, dude.
And I think tomorrow is somewhat light.
Also light as well. But
see,
why?
Actually, or not that late.
There's no way, dude.
No, tomorrow's not that. That was a stupid thing for me to say.
That's always okay. It's okay.
But is it Wednesday?
Wednesday is I mean, I would imagine this week with no baseball. Wednesday won.
See, that's a Bettman blow it spot. I mean,
and
that's wow.
Yeah, Wednesday night. There's nothing going on Wednesday night, dude.
Yeah,
and the game is
NBA
Flyers Caps.
That's why
NBA, dude.
Because
come
NBA on Thursdays only has 2 games. That's what they're loaded up on Thursdays, and then Tuesday's opening night for NBA. Actually, but I think there's only 2 games. So that's why it's loaded. So It's funny. We don't think of these things, but a lot of these schedules are made in mind with these lesser leagues in terms of like interest dollars based on what the other leagues are doing.
And I suppose, I mean, I guess maybe that makes sense, but come on, that's so annoying.
Yeah.
Maybe it has something to do too with a lot of these. Actually, I don't know how many of these teams do share a stadium with their respective basketball team. I get, regardless, it's stupid. Tuesday. I mean, I guess. Whatever, dude. It doesn't matter.
You know what does matter? A 1-game Monday night NHL frenzy, a national game, NHL Network, 7:30. Maple Leafs hosting the Lightning. The Lightning plus 125. The Maple Leafs minus 145. Coming off that disappointing loss to the New York Rangers.
That's right.
What is the vision here, Tony?
I think, honestly, if I'm the Lightning, I feel pretty good about this game. I mean, the Lightning have proven to remain a dominant force here, even losing their captain, Steven Stamkos. Obviously, they're not missing a beat here when you think of some of their players. Obviously, Nikita Kucherov leading the team in points with 9. Jake Gensel, their acquisition, Victor Hedman. What a get is right, dude. And I mean, listen, dude, I mean, they haven't even had some of their other guys like Braden Point go off yet. So, I mean, if I'm the Tampa Bay Lightning, I feel pretty good about my season. Maple Leafs, they're that team that needs to answer the bell. And I mean, listen, it starts with games like this here at home. You need to beat these good teams. Do I think it'll happen? I don't. I think Tampa Bay, their offense, their physicality, their defense with Ryan McDonough, Janice Moser, as well as Victor Hedman, that physicality, Darren Radish in there also. I mean, they're going to be pretty dominant. I think they're going to be a really hard team to score on. And you want to look at some goaltending there. Andrei Vasilevsky starting his year off pretty well. 3 wins, the 1 loss, 901 save percentage through those few games. No shutouts yet, dude. And it may come tonight. Dare I say it? I'm going to say probably no, though. I say Tampa Bay does win this game, does give up a 1, maybe 2 goal. I think similar outcome against the Rangers here because that's what the Lightning is putting out there. Maybe Mitch Marner with a goal and Nylander with the other one. But at the end of the day, it's Lightning 5, Maple Leafs 2. Maple Leafs questioning who their goaltender will be for the remainder of the year, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely interesting there. I'm going to agree with you. I like the Lightning here. I just think better team. And like I said, that Gensel get was so big. I think it brings out the fountain of youth in the other star players in the Lightning who are getting a little older, like a Vasilevsky, like a Kucherov, like a Point. So I think this is just a really good group. And Tommy, I know, just had a comment about Cooper being one of the best coaches in the NHL. Mm-hmm. So with all that being said, I like this as a 3-2 Lightning victory. And I'm going to say Gensel, go-ahead goal, 3 minutes left. So it would be the Lightning and the under. And just like that, that is your hockey frenzy.
What a frenzy it was.
And we had a couple comments.
Yes, dude. Ernie back when did say, by the way, Cards, Ravens money line there for his bets. Did TCA beat y'all in the picks? And then Josh B comes in, says, Ernie, we both went 3-0. So a little frustration, I think, out of Josh B. Obviously, you go 3-0, you expect to gain some ground. But wait.
We've been pretty good this year because we're getting a fair shake. That's what happened. They didn't realize what an advantage that was. And I know it's one of those things where it's like, they don't really want to hear it. I mean, in all seriousness, do you think that makes like monumental difference?
Yeah. I mean, I think so. It definitely does shake things up. I mean, if you're getting your pick of the litter every week, come on.
You kept you just get new flan and you just don't care and you just keep going. Right?
Exactly.
Oh man. But yeah, things are getting interesting too. And I actually, just so we have it, I kind of want to, send over the updated picks in the group, so it doesn't get mixed up.
Yes.
Let me just see here. So, okay. So we are 14-7 and they are 10-10-1.
Wow. Let's fucking go, dude.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy. 10-10-1. Is that no, what are they?
10-10-1.
10-10-1. Wow, dude.
7 weeks, 3 picks.
There we go.
No math problems.
Dude. Nope, not at all, dude.
Yeah. So I mean, I have to say, Tony, what an outstanding show. And I think, kudos to us powering through. Obviously, late night last night, long weekend. I mean, people are tired. You might need a coffee. Have you had a coffee?
Had a coffee, dude. Might need
another coffee,
dude.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Hydrate up.
Yes. No, definitely need to hydrate.
But I just can't wait. Feet up later. Just relax. Fall asleep by like 10 o'clock easily.
Oh, that sounds nice, dude. That sounds really nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Easily by 10 o'clock.
Easy money. But yeah. So we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in today and continuing to comment, like, and subscribe. All of the archives on the YouTube page, Tony, Michael, Renee, and Jay in costume, the merch at downtimetv.com. Want everybody to enjoy the day, enjoy the games, and we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do.